What's up, Mike? You there? Can you hear me? Hello?
Jesus.
Yeah. Am I loud? I'm coming through that loud? Oh, that's not the best. Well,
Also,
what's going on, everybody?
you're gonna want headphones, FYI.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to invest in some headphones. Thanks for that FYI. You're coming through a little bit clearer now, which is good. What's up, everybody that's tuning in, all two viewers? My name is Mark. I'm here with Mike Yetas, Mike L. from the Nothing Podcast. Thanks for joining. What's wrong?
You gotta give out governments and everything. You have no filter. Like, seriously, dude.
Oh my God! I forgot you live. Where's your aluminum hat? You're missing it.
No, and his address is, and his social security number is. He has exactly $500 in his bank account too, and his password for his bank account is this as well.
So I didn't say all of that at all. I literally gave away your last name, like your last initial, and probably mispronounced your last name. But well, how are you? What's new? How's everything?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you're full of shit. We're all under quarantine. You must be bored to shit.
I'm pretty good.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, it's kind of great being in your house and not able to do much, and you don't have to work because there's nothing to do. I'm not an essential employee for anything. So, I got my conspiracy quarantine beard going on, so
That's great, man. So I would start this off with. I want to ask how this has affected you as a business owner. I mean, it's been pretty apparent to me that it's pretty much shut you down. Were you like thinking to yourself, how can I like operate as a business owner in the midst of all this, or you kind of just like accepted it and went with it?
what do you mean? Like how so?
Meaning, like,
We were told we can't be open.
oh, you did get. I thought. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't that clear. I thought that you had said to me that you never actually got a letter in the mail, and that you kind of just like people just stopped coming by. But you know what I mean. Nobody knows.
You hear the news, and then the mayor or governor comes out, and the CDC come out, and they go, well, we only want essential people on the road or essential people at work. So what are the choice do we have besides to close the business at this point? Not to mention, we work in the film industry. The film industry is shut down, so no matter what, we can't work. So it's not just the studio. It's like there's many other businesses or people in this industry that can't work. The whole industry of the filmmaking industry is closed right now. Nobody's working.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we all work close to each other in large groups.
So it seems as if this isn't necessary. I mean, like, obviously it's necessary for everybody to stay home right now.
I don't think it's necessary.
What?
I don't think it's necessary.
So let's talk about that. I love conflicting views, man. So I do think that it's necessary for people to stay home, but I want to hear your side to this. Why do you think that's bullshit?
I didn't say it was bullshit.
So do you agree or disagree that everybody should stay home?
I'm not a medical professional.
Yes, we understand.
But I don't think staying home is going to solve this problem. It's
Okay.
just it's not the flu. It's not a virus like the flu, but in that respect, the virus. They keep telling you how long of an incubation period it has, 14 days. So if you stay home and if you close everyone off for 14 days, right? Supposedly that would help it go down and disappear. But how is that going to disappear and go away if this one person gets infected the last day of the 14 days, say? Now everyone goes back to normal. Now that one person who's infected goes back out and infects 100 more people. And it all comes right back to, oh my God, we have a huge problem. We need, unfortunately, this to pass us by naturally, not by going home and hiding in your house and not interacting with people. Our bodies are built to be able to get used to certain things and fight off certain things. This is a new bug. If we hide from it, we don't get infected by it, the next year we might have the same problem again at around the same time.
So I see what you're saying, and I totally get your logic. Where you see, it's kind of tough, but by the same token, I just got off the phone with a good friend of mine who pretty much just told me, hey, yeah, my cousin, 33 years old, has coronavirus, and he was in the hospital with a coma, unable to breathe, like on life support. And this is like one of my closest friends of a long time that just texted me that. And so while under any normal circumstances, and to an extent, you're right, it does just need to pass through society, and there are portions of us that absolutely need to build up immunity. But because, at least for certain hospitals, it seems as if there's just like their entire healthcare system is, it doesn't seem, we know that the healthcare system is collapsing. To that point, I think it's really important that everybody stays home to reduce the amount of people who simultaneously catch this. What you're saying is people probably should catch it more and more to build up resistance. The issue is with them catching to build up resistance, it's not necessarily something they can stay home to do to build up resistance like the common cold. Like, whatever, just stay home, sleep it off, you'll live, because they end up not being able to breathe, therefore needing to get put on a ventilator.
But that's the problem here. The problem here is, first off, I believe this virus has basically showed us how awful our healthcare system is everywhere, every country. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You have a population of 14 million, but you have 300 ventilators. That's called retardation. 300 ventilators with 14 million or 11 million people. It doesn't make sense. The for-profit system doesn't work. But here's things that they don't tell you, and no one's closing countries for this. How many people die from tuberculosis, which they have treatment for, a year? How many people die a year from TB?
I don't have those facts.
Well, according to the CDC, 1.5 million people died last year from tuberculosis. Last year, I think.
In the U.S. or in the world?
In the world. But no one's closing countries down or even doing mass vaccinations or anything for this. It kills people, yes. If you have a weak immune system, if you don't take care of yourself, which Americans unfortunately don't. Most Americans eat like shit. They smoke, they drink, they don't get enough sleep, they party. Look at Miami, they're still partying, or maybe it stopped. But people don't take care of themselves. If you take care of yourself, your immune system is literally there to save you. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to die one way or another. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. And you can argue that all you want, but that's science. That's doctors right there will tell you. If your immune system fails you, you're going to die.
Listen, here's a hard truth.
And also, let's make this clear. Coronavirus does not kill you.
I'm listening.
That's it. Coronavirus does not kill you. That's it.
What do you mean? I will need you to explain that.
Google it. What kills you? Just Google it. You can do it right now and bring it up on the screen.
Are you saying it's a side effect or like an after effect of the actual virus that kills you? Is that what
your immune system kills you because of its overreaction to the virus? When you have pneumonia, what pneumonia does, it's a bacteria in your lungs, and usually it's caused by fluid buildup, which is your immune system responding and attacking the virus, and the white blood cells turn into fluid. And it builds up in your lungs. It's your own immune system killing you as it's trying to fight off the disease.
So, Mike, I don't know if you want to get into it. So if you don't, you could just tell me you want to change the subject. But do you have any current underlying conditions right now, like medically speaking?
I don't know. Good question. I have multiple sclerosis, but that wouldn't affect the virus. The drug I'm on might, because it kills my mature T cells. But am I worried? Am I going to panic? Am I wearing a mask in the store and worried? No, you know what? I eat healthy. I work out. I drink a lot of water. I get enough sleep.
So, man, I've heard so many different aspects of this. Listen, you will think however you're going to think about this, and that's fine. But God forbid, because I've heard, like, I haven't even heard, I know of people that have got caught on ventilators. Like, I know of people that, like, couldn't breathe for hours on end, man. Regardless of if it kills you or not, do you really want to be in a position where you are not able to breathe? Because I don't want to be in that position. I really don't.
That's the worst case scenario. That's literally 0.2% of the population who get this. That's not a large number. So basically, say me, you, and 5 other people we know get the virus. It's more likely none of us will be on a ventilator than one of us will be on a ventilator. Although if you have cigarette smokers, that's another factor. If you smoke cigarettes, you're killing your lungs, and this thing is going to attack your lungs eventually. If you have a weakened immune system because you don't eat enough vitamins, you have to get these things help you, and people just don't do that. I mean, if you look at Italy, look at the problem that's happening in Italy, and people argue back and forth. Oh, they have a good healthcare system. No, they don't. No, they don't. They have a socialist healthcare system. They have a very unhealthy population. They have the highest smoking population out of most countries, and they have the highest elderly population.
So let me ask you this.
Do you normally spell your name with a lowercase m? Just curious.
Oh, no, definitely not. It just sort of happened, I guess. I didn't really put that much. I just typed my name. So let me ask you this, man. So what if, in a fantasy world, so to speak, you were a nurse during this and you had to work? How do you think you would feel about working if you had to put yourself in that position?
Listen, someone said something that made me laugh, and I said, as awful as it sounds, I agree with them. And they go, people are like, oh, thank the sanitation workers, they have to work. Thank the nurses, they have to work. We all want to work. Why are we thanking people going to fucking work when we all want to work? We're told we can't fucking work. Why are we thanking people that took this as their job? This is your fucking job.
That is true. I can't disagree with that. But that wasn't what I asked you.
But what? What was the question again?
What I was getting to was, if you put yourself in a position of a medical professional right now, right? Somebody that's working in the hospital day and night with these sick patients, therefore on the front lines of this, therefore seeing the fear and other negative types of emotions and like physicalities coming from these people. You don't think
They've always seen it. This is nothing new in a hospital. I asked a friend of mine who works in the hospital, hey, how's the hospital going? Is it packed with corona patients? She goes, no, about 10. It's not busy at all.
What hospital? Is this a hospital?
New York Presbyterian, I think.
So maybe
people test positive unless you can't breathe, which that's not most of the cases. You're being sent home to self-quarantine. And I asked her, are people dying? And her response was, of course. It's a fucking hospital. People die all the fucking time.
So, I mean, listen, sure, that is true. I don't know, man. I've gotten pictures. I've heard horror stories from Staten Island University Hospital, from other hospitals in Brooklyn, that like people are getting, like, healthcare workers are getting sick because they're not like getting all the materials that they need. That it's really scary working there. But again, this is one of those things that's really kind of good to talk about, opposing views.
It's not even opposing views. It's a fringe time. The media is going to point out, oh God, look at this. Oh God, look at this, because it gets clicks. And then people are going to start complaining about the same thing because they're experiencing it, but they've always been experiencing it. Like I have a friend. She's a nurse. She's a registered nurse. And at her hospital, they're not putting more hours in. They're doing the opposite. They're not laying them off. They're not firing them, but they're keeping them home for 2 weeks at a time to quarantine them and bring them back, and back and forth. So they're giving them less hours, not more hours.
Guess it depends on the hospital. You know, so I've thought about everything, right? So as far as the stock market is concerned, right, I've thought about this. So what happens, because, you know, there's opposing sides to this. We should be shut down. Or why is everybody just not going back to work? This is ridiculous.
You should read the last 2 comments.
Bipolarized? What does it say?
Yes.
The test can detect genetic sequences of the virus, but not viruses themselves. What has changed? It's a great question. I'm not sure.
It's 2 questions, but it's okay. Now, also, Jesse Miller. Yes, I probably am at risk. Oh, they probably left. They had to leave. Whoops. But I probably am at more risk, but I'm not worried because I'm healthy. I take multivitamins. I don't eat fucking anything bad. Knock on wood. At least I don't think it's bad. I eat mostly vegetables and plants. So I work out. My lungs are pretty fucking good. I used to train heavily. I don't think I'm a risk factor for this. I think anyone can get the virus. Anyone. There's no one immune to the virus because no one has gotten this virus before.
Right.
I don't think everyone's going to need a ventilator, and that's a fact. That's out there. That's if you go to the CDC website. On the CDC website, it has a number of people infected that they know of, and a number of all this other stuff, right? On the number of people infected, there's an asterisk next to it. You know why? If you go down to the key, that asterisk means not confirmed tested. They were never tested. They think it was the virus. Now, I know several people that think they had this virus back in early January and even back until fucking November. Same symptoms, low-grade fever, extremely bad cough.
Right.
So this has been here. So that's why I don't understand what stay inside now when we need to flatten the curve. The curve is already here. It's too late to flatten the curve. It's already here.
I agree with you on that. Hello?
I don't get it that aren't going to get seriously sick. The more people that are going to be immune to it eventually.
Yeah, no, I had this thought in my head the other day about the stock market, right? So number one, people say it's going to pop right back up. I disagree with that, but I think that as long, what? Did you say something?
I'm listening to you.
Oh, I think that as long as there's new reporting on this virus about how we don't have a cure yet, that's as long as the stock market's going to keep going down. But the question is, so you've made a few comments to me about things that I've shared that are like, fear-mongering or whatever. Obviously, we have a difference of opinion, but that's not the reason I bring this up. I bring this up because what if the media stopped printing news on this, right? What if we stopped covering this topic? What would happen? I see really one potential outcome. Everybody would go back to work, right? But our healthcare system would be no more. If they're complaining now and we stop reporting on this...
How can it be no more?
Meaning like they'd be so overwhelmed, nobody would be able to get into a hospital.
How can they be so overwhelmed?
They're overwhelmed now.
They're not. They're not. New York's overwhelmed. Do you know why New York is overwhelmed? Because they picked specific hospitals to handle the virus only, not all the hospitals. So they're not even utilizing all the ventilators they have in other hospitals.
Do you have a source to back that up? Not that I think.
Cuomo said it. This is something Cuomo said. They started off with three specific hospitals to use for the virus only, and then they had to add three more to it because they didn't have enough space. Now, the problem is the media is scaring the shit out of people. So now people with a fucking runny nose are running to the hospital, and that's a problem. Because when you go to the hospital and you show symptoms and you have a fever and all these symptoms, guess what? They might admit you, and you might not need to be admitted. And now you just took up space they need for someone else who's seriously sick.
They're not admitting anybody that doesn't have a fever and can't breathe right now. They're just not doing it.
Now they're not.
Even 2 or 3 weeks ago, they weren't.
That's not a long enough time. I'm talking about back in January when people were getting... We've had the worst flu season ever, right? I doubt it was the flu. I have a friend that was severely sick back in December. So December to January, severely sick for a long time. He's a cigarette smoker. Couldn't smoke cigarettes. He couldn't do it. He couldn't smoke anymore. He could coughing all night, low-grade fever, couldn't breathe. Never went to the hospital. He was better in about 25 days. They tested him for the flu. It wasn't the flu. They said some virus go home. Out of all people that probably should have died from it, I don't want to say it.
Wow.
No, not should have, but like pre-existing conditions, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, chain smoker.
I feel like I might know who you're talking about, but okay.
It's irrelevant, but there's several people that I know that had these same symptoms, and that they came out fine. Even though there was a 95-year-old woman that just survived. So it's not killing indiscriminately everyone in some crazy virus. There's worse things out there.
No, there's a ton of news. There's a ton of news saying how positive things are about this is just like, it'll pass. It's a virus. Again, man, I have a difference of opinion. I think that, the way this was done like shit, obviously. What really is pissing me off about all this is the way Trump has responded to everything. Now, I think politics needs to absolutely get left at the door at a time like this, and that's something that Cuomo said, which I fucking really respected. But I think that, let's see, Polarized just said they are not full. Here in the UK, hospitals are empty. Also, look up German journalists finding coronavirus. I'm sure there's a lot of fake news about this, and that's been proven, actually. There's been people to say that there's fake news, that hospitals aren't really going that insane, and this is all just bullshit and propaganda. I can't disagree that that's happening in places, but I know for a fact that there are places, at least in New York, that hospitals are completely overwhelmed. So I guess it's sort of situationally dependent. But anyway, what I was saying about Trump, and we just handled this like shit. What is mind-boggling to me is, as the president of the United States, how do you look at this happening across the world, globally, and just say, yeah, whatever, don't worry about it? You see China shutting down, you see Italy shutting down. And for me, I was just, in my head, I'm just like, how did I miss this? How did I not think to myself, this is going to be a bigger deal than it ended up being, But that's what's been sort of driving me crazy, that, if we were going to try to play, offense and not, be behind on defense on this fucking thing, then everything we were doing should have been done 2 months ago. But it wasn't, because we fucked up. Yeah, your volume, unless you didn't say anything.
I'm just shaking my head. I didn't say anything.
Oh. I was going to say your volume's fucked up.
What was he going to do? Shut down the economy and destroy businesses? I mean, they did that anyway.
I was going to say, he did exactly what they were trying to avoid doing.
They need to get Dr. Fauci out. Get him out.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Go look at the emails. Go look at the emails. That's all I have to say. Look at the emails.
I don't know, man. I'm a believer in the Fauci.
Look at the emails. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'll take a look after.
Go to WikiLeaks and look at the emails.
So you have something. I'll go. I'll go after this.
I posted something on the screen. The 277,355 is confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. The 12,000 are people that's recovered so far, and the 7,000 is deaths. That is still way less than the flu.
I don't think that's true. I got to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I read a few places that it's not.
Just look up deaths from flu in America.
But also, how much does the flu overwhelm our hospital system versus this?
We wouldn't know. You know why? They weren't reporting it until it became this. That's the thing I'm trying to explain to you. The news is only going to report things after the fact. And it's a hot topic. Cop kills another black man. That's always been a problem. They're talking about it now because people are clicking about it. It's only about what's selling. It's not about what actual problems are. That's how it has always been.
I mean, that is true. So let's talk about something for a second. You have a segment that you do.
CDC estimates. Listen to this. You ready?
Yeah.
The CDC estimates in America from October 1st, 2019 to March 28th, 2020. This is from the CDC. Okay. 24,000 people at least have died from flu. But the total attributed amount of deaths related to flu is 63,000.
It's still not nearly as much as they're projecting for this.
It's at 7,000 right now.
What is?
Deaths for America is at 7,000.
The flu?
No. The coronavirus is at 7,000 right now, deaths in America.
Okay.
The flu from the beginning of the season, which is October 1st, to March, there's already been 63,000 deaths. And
they're projecting from this, and mind you, models are models, so nothing is confirmed yet. They're projecting a good estimate between 150 to 250,000 deaths from this season of coronavirus.
Projecting.
We'll see what happens.
They still don't even know how many people have it. They can't project anything. It's a guessing game at this point. It's completely a guessing game.
So let's talk real quick, because I know you wanted to do something else soon. You have your own segment coming up in, I guess, 5-10 minutes, whenever you're going to leave me here. Conspiracy Hour. on the Nothing Network. Conspiracy
Yes,
with Coast.
Conspiracy Hour with Coast, hence the name of the screen.
Conspiracy Coast. So let's talk about that. What can people look forward to if they were to tune into that? What do you have planned for tonight?
It's just an open discussion about conspiracies, people's thoughts and opinions about things that are going on and whatnot. Any opinion you might have.
What is your, if you had some sort of a conspiracy-based opinion on what's happening in the world right now, what would it be?
It's a test.
What kind of a test and why?
To see how stupid the public is. To see how much we'll rely on government. To see if we'll give away all our rights for safety, which clearly we will. Clearly, we get scared so easily that we'll give up our rights for safety.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, there's a lot of people. Well, number one, I don't see anybody marching down the streets with an anonymous mask on. Any like crowds of people right now marching the streets, telling people to open up businesses or protesting this.
You won't see it because news would never.
And news doesn't have to report that. People will record that from their phones, man.
Yeah, but they get silenced.
Accounts
get deleted. Every year, there's a million mask march in Washington, D.C. Every year. Over 5,000 people go, supposedly. But no one would know about it because they never report about it. They keep it on hush-hush. I'll share the events page with you. But it's every year. I wanted to go to one year where they weren't actually being silenced as much as they are. It's anonymous, by the way. You know that group, the hacker group Anonymous. They organized it, and they did it 1 year, and that's the only year I ever heard of it. And apparently, it's been happening every year, and it's all hush hush.
Surprise! You said you wanted to
go. Mm-hmm. I have kids, so I can't really put myself in danger. But like, someone said recently to me, or in one of my conspiracy hours, or maybe it was a comment I read somewhere else, but they said, everyone talks shit about China's state-run media. Because that's what China has. They have a state-run media that only reports whatever they want because it's run by the government.
Sure.
But no one stopped to think and go, wait a second, why is our media starting to sound a lot more state-run than anyone else's? And I'm not talking Trump is part of the state, because he's not part of the state. He's an outsider, which is why he got elected and why he's in office, because we wanted an outsider. I didn't vote for him, but I'm just saying the society wanted an outsider, and that's why we got Trump. He's not really an outsider, though, but he's not part of this whole mainstream politician.
I think Trump is hilarious.
I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he underreacted during this problem. I think he had his reaction, and then he asked some experts, got Fauci involved, and then they would give him this other information. So he's like, if they are telling the truth, if it's half true, I have to protect people somehow, or protect business somehow, or protect something somehow. And they made decisions. But the president is only as good as the people he surrounds himself with. That's how it always has been. And our government, every last one of them, has proven they no longer really work for the people. I mean, how many sold off stocks right before this shit happened, so they knew something was going to happen?
Wait, say that again? What was the last?
How many of them sold off their stocks right before this shit happened?
So I thought about that because you mentioned that to me before. You see, the way I look, you can look at it like from the perspective you're coming from, but all that you really need to do at a time like this is look at what's happening in other countries, realize it's going to come here, and then I would have, if I was thinking about it like that, I would have sold off everything too. I kind of did sell everything off, actually. Like when I saw it was happening in Italy, I sold a bunch of my stocks because I knew it would come here soon.
And like if you see what happened in China, 20 million cell phones are gone. Like 20 million cell phone users have disappeared. Where'd they go? People usually just get rid of their cell phones randomly. This is like an extension of yourself. I talked about that in the last episode of Conspiracy Hour. Like, sure. Where did these cell phones go? They weren't burner phones. They were accounts set up through big providers.
Yeah.
So where these go? Where these people go? I don't think they're dead. They were trying to attribute that to death, like, oh, maybe these are the people that died from coronavirus and they lied about the numbers. The numbers are much higher. But I don't think that's the case. I think they just silenced these people.
Possible. I don't know their structure. I can't say you're wrong. Very possible.
You should go to a YouTube channel called Last Messages.
Sure. I need to go look at these Dr. Fauci messages from the email things or whatever. I'm curious about that.
He was part of the emails that were leaked by Hillary Clinton. Remember, Hillary Clinton had leaked emails because she didn't use a secure server or whatnot.
Yeah.
When Hillary won the nomination over Bernie Sanders, that doctor sent her a personal email congratulating her and saying how great he was and he's a supporter and all this stuff.
Right.
And that doesn't make him a bad person for supporting Hillary, but now he's standing next to the opposition, and who's to say he's feeding proper information to not drop down on Trump, not to make him look bad or something.
So Polarizer said, look at China today, it'll be us tomorrow. And I agree with that, but the only thing that scares me about that is their social structure.
Well, that's bad. Why would you agree with that? We want revolution. If we're going to be China, we want revolution. We will get rid of this government. You better believe it.
When you say that's bad, why would you agree with that? It's not that I agree that it's a good thing. I agree that the probability of us being similar to China is pretty high. Do I think it's good or bad? I didn't say that at all. Do I think a revolution could be coming? I'd love to see people walking the streets taking action. People preach a lot of shit about revolution coming, but where's the action? The thing is, number one, what fucking... All right, you want to talk revolution, man? So how do you take down government? You want to storm the White House? You can get 1 million people to do that, sure. Everybody could also just stop paying fucking taxes. Where are they going to get their money from?
The White House isn't the problem. That's one branch of government. The real revolution is a non-violent revolution. It has to be a protest or something where enough people come out and we tell them, step down, or we'll make you step down. And I'm talking about all of them. What country did that happen in? I think it happened in Greenland, didn't it? In Greenland, they came out and basically told the government, we want you to step down and we're going to rewrite the Constitution the way we see fit. And the government was like, no. And they said, yes, and they did.
I said, I definitely think the Constitution should get audited for sure.
I don't think it should at all.
Oh, I think it should. I think everything changes over time. But I also don't think that we should...
Hold on. The point of the Constitution is to be timeless. That's why everything was very simple and broad. It wasn't straight, like, get taxed this much. It wasn't numbers like that. It was simple. You have the right, the freedom of speech, the right to say whatever you want without getting prosecuted for it. You have the right to a fair and speedy trial because you can't be arrested for no reason. There's things, the Constitution is a near perfect document. And people argue that, what the hell? What was I just going to say? Sorry, I was reading what they wrote, peaceful noncompliance, exactly. But people complain that, slavery wasn't in the Constitution. That's why it's bad. Well, slavery didn't have to be in it because slavery is bad. That's common sense. It wasn't then, but that can easily change. You don't have to write it on paper, but they did eventually. But that's something that was like common sense because there's nothing in the Constitution supporting slavery either. Rape isn't in the Constitution, so rape should be okay? No, it's common sense, people. Someone said it to me, and I agree with them, and I'm not even religious. If you combine the Bill of Rights with the 10 Commandments and put them together, you have the perfect book of law. Don't kill. Don't sleep with another man's wife. Don't steal. You have the right to say what you want. You have the right to a speedy trial. You have the right to not get taxed without representation. All this shit. And then you combine those two together and you're perfect document.
Number one, there's no such thing as perfect. I disagree with that. I'm not going to go further into that statement, though, because I can't really back it up. I just know from a very wide perspective of things, nothing is ever perfect. That's number one. Number two, What I would change, if we could really change shit, is the way that we elect a leader of this country. I know you don't believe in government. I know you don't think we should probably have a president. I don't think that either one of us are educated to like really make a statement.
We don't need a president.
Yeah, I don't think either one of us are really educated enough to make a statement like that. But that's besides the point. What I don't think right now. First of all, I hate our voting system, but it's because it's built like shit. Our voting system is garbage. I don't have a clue. What?
Imagine it was like it should be more like American Idol.
The problem with our voting system is simple. It's really simple, and a lot of people don't understand this. If you're asking a bunch of people, like millions, right, of people that don't know a fucking thing about the day-to-day duties of the actual presidency and what they're like responsible for doing, all the things that you'll never see from the media. You're asking these people to vote for somebody into office to handle all that stuff. And the problem that I see from that is you have no idea how good of a problem solver they are on a very, very high stress level. So how could you possibly hire somebody when you have no idea how they're what an ideal candidate for their job should be doing? Because when presidents campaign, it's bullshit. This is the problem that I have with campaigning. The problem that I have with campaigning is they tell you everything they want to do. They tell you all that stuff. What they don't tell you is the challenges that they know they're going to face to do it. A friend of mine goes to me, hey, Mike Bloomberg, he's running for president. We should all vote for him. Great. That's cool. I see what he wants to do. He wanted to ban smoking cigarettes. This is before Bloomberg dropped out, right? He wanted to ban smoking cigarettes. That's awesome. I absolutely think they should be banned. What I don't like about that is when I said to him, like, hey, how do you think that, what challenges, does Bloomberg say what challenges that he knows he's going to face to try to solve these problems? And my friend was like, no, but listen, he ran $1 billion company. He's done well for himself. I would put all of my best voting efforts on him. I think that's part of the problem. I think we should absolutely question how every single candidate is going to solve problems at a high scale. That's a big problem.
Everything.
We should never assume somebody understands how to do something because most people don't fucking understand how things work at all. If we asked Trump how things worked on a fucking large scale, he would have, and how he was going to solve problems, like really solve problems, like step by step on how he was going to do it, he would have had no fucking clue. No clue. But most people wouldn't. And that's it. That's my spiel on why our fucking entire election sucked.
Oh. Question.
But anyway, I know you have this thing to do, right? Do you? I don't want to push you out.
Yep.
I know you have a.
No. I already messaged on that stream that I'm running late because I'm here with you.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, that's my spiel on that. It's just frustrating.
Well, quickly, I don't think we need a president because I think every bill, every law, everything should go directly to the people. We should all have a vote on it.
The reason why it won't work right now is because people aren't educated enough, nor will they ever be able to do that.
Yeah, they are. You're not giving. I don't think you're giving enough people credit. I don't think you're giving enough people credit. You have people like Elon Musk who came from nothing and built something. You have people, Bloomberg came from nothing, built something. You have a lot of people. Well, Bloomberg got money and invested it, right? So he would have come from nothing. But regardless, you have people out there that are not stupid. They just don't have a means to get higher up in these in levels of government anyway. So give the voting right to the people. Hey, I have an idea. I'm a senator. I have an idea. I have this bill I want to pass. But if I want to pass this bill, give it to the people. Now we read it. Hey, wait a second. This says you're going to take more money from me. I can't afford that. I won't vote for that. Oh, look, it's going to give me more money. I might vote for that. It might help someone else. I might vote for that. The problem also is people are selfish. That's another problem.
Yes, they are selfish, but that's a human trait, unfortunately.
A human condition, yes. Yes, it is. Are you going to hop on my show or what?
Yeah, I'm going to come on for a few minutes. I just need to wrap this up.
I'm going to leave yours. You can wrap it up. Talk about whatever you want. Do a big critique.
No, I'm going to wrap this up right now. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Mike, thanks so much for joining. Everybody check out the Nothing Podcast and the Nothing Network. It's coming up next, actually. Take care, guys. Good night. Goodbye. Stay safe. Good luck. Love you all. Bye-bye.